I just took the snap and ready to take you on a long distance ride through week two's Sunday schedule. But first, let's go back to last week. I went 4-3 against the spread, including 1-0 in my upset specials. So hop in your car and let's go cruising with our first stop in Carolina. I like the Panthers -7 over the Bills. I look for the Panthers front seven to clamp down on running back McCoy and make life miserable for Taylor and keep him in the pocket and force a turnover or two. And I look for Cam Superman Newton to target McCaffrey and his old buddy Olsen to do some things which should open things up down the field for both of his 6'5" receivers. For our next trip, let's head down to the Sunshine State. I like the Titans -1.5. I look for the Titans to get back to their ground and pound ways after having twice as many passes as rushes. And I look for Mariota to mix in some quarterback scrambles and some play action long bombs. And taking nothing away from the Jags' 10-sack effort, but I think it was more to do with the Texans' lack of an O-line and quarterback Savage, who's like a statue. So the Titans bounce back in week 2. Now let's head out west to the Mile High City. I like the Broncos +2.5 over Du Bois. I think this will be Dak and Elliott's most challenging game yet in their young careers, going against a big Denver front seven and the no-fly zone. I look for Prescott to struggle somewhat, cracking the code to get to the end zone against them, and I think Elliott will get his yards, but he'll have to get plenty of carries to do that. And as long as Simeon just manages the game, they'll do fine behind his buddies C.J. Anderson's help in the backfield. And I look for a big game from slot receiver Sanders, as he'll torch safety Norm Carroll. Now let's head to Los Angeles. I like the Rams -2.5. I think head coach Sean McVay has been circling this on the calendar as he's going head-to-head with his ex-Redskins coaching staff. And I look for him to take full advantage. Yes, Sean McVay will be in Kirk Cousins' head all game. He knows Kirk Cousins better than he knows himself. And I look for him to dial up a lot of different blitz packages to confuse his old friend Cousins. And with the return of Donald in the lineup, that will free up his teammates for unblockable sacks. And on offense, I look for Goff to pick up where he left off last week and test an unproven Skins secondary. And the Rams have something the Skids don't have, Todd Gurley. So I look for him to do some things. Next up, let's head to Hotlanta for Sunday night's matchup. I like the Packers +3 over the Falcons. This was the site of the Packers exiting out of the playoffs. But what you might not know is the Packers defense was totally out of order due to the injury bug. With a healthy secondary and improved front seven, I look for the Pack attack on D to give Matt Ryan some problems. And on offense, I look for Aaron double-check Rodgers to dial up some long bombs against a questionable Falcons secondary. And with the free agent signing of Bennett should help things underneath. Yes, the Falcons lay an egg in their new nest against Rodgers and company. Now what you've all been waiting for. Hear that ringing in the ear? Well, it's time to grab your surfboard and sunglasses as we're heading back to the west coast of LA. I like the Dolphins +5 over the Chargers. With the pass rushing duo of Ake and Sue, I look for them to rattle Rivers in the pocket. And saying that, their D and the whole Dolphins team as a whole knows Coach Adam Lynn's schemes and habits, as they know him from his days coaching the Bills and the Jets. And on offense, I look for Cutler to have some success with his slot receivers and his buddy Ajayi in the backfield. And the Finns have one of the most underrated O-lines in the league. And head coach Adam Gase knows the Chargers very well, as he was on the Broncos coaching staff for 4 years. And the Finns have been in LA for the last week and a half, so they'll be fresh and charged up as their families and coaches have all been together. So I look for them to start the year 1-0. For a quick recap of my picks, here is the sheet. Enjoy your NFL Sunday.